Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. On today's episode, we are going to be talking about ways to succeed in your first job. Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Jalen Marjoram. I make content here on YouTube and I offer advice and guidance to younger students. Okay, I am so excited for these next few weeks. I have a lot of great YouTube ideas planned out and some really good hacks and tip videos, so stay tuned for that. And I think I mentioned it in last week's description box, but thank you so much for 100 subscribers. It has been the past 5 months and I have reached 100 subscribers, and I am so happy that everyone's enjoying my content. And make sure you're watching my YouTube shorts and other things, so I spend a lot of time on those. But anyways, let's roll right into things to help you do well in your first job. Number one is you should always be 15 minutes early. If you're not 15 minutes early, you are late. Being punctual is one of the biggest signs of maturity, and a big problem nowadays with a lot of corporations. They're just struggling to have people even just show up for work. So if you're taking that initiative and showing up early and putting in your correct amount of hours, you are going to look way ahead of the game. Number two is dressing appropriately. I know, especially as I'm part of Gen Z, and I know Gen Alpha especially, they're having a really hard time really, being professional and understanding what professional attire looks like. But even for a job interview for McDonald's, you should not be showing up in sweatpants and a t-shirt. You should look accordingly, and if your job allows you to do that, that's amazing. But especially when you're first starting out, let's making sure that if we're wearing jeans or dark jeans, wearing a full-length shirt, nothing super inappropriate, and just making sure that we look professional. Even if the job isn't necessarily a professional job, we should always try and look the part. Number three is positivity is key. A big thing nowadays is that people are just really lacking motivation and confidence. So if you show that you're positive and you're ready to do your job and you are ready to learn, then you are going to look way ahead of your peers. This is a big one. Do not talk about religion, sexuality, or politics around your coworkers. These are your coworkers. They're not your best friends. And I think we really as a society need to understand these boundaries. And if you have relationships like that with your coworkers, that is amazing. But when you're first starting out, let's just keep talk extremely professional until it gets to that point and you have known your fellow employees for some time. So keeping talk professional is really going to help you succeed in your first job and jobs past your first job, so always just maintaining a professional attitude. Next up, and you should do this before you even get the job, is research the company beforehand. You should be looking on Facebook, their website, if there's an About Us page on their website, and even if it's somewhere like McDonald's, looking up personalized locations like social media. And this really gets a good feel for how your company's environment is going to go, if they're a more casual, laid-back company, or are they more professional and like to keep to themselves. Do they do a lot of charity work? Are there any scandals? So you should research the company and know about all these things beforehand, so you are well versed about your company before you even get the job. This is the last one, and I think the most important, is become extremely likable to your employer. Now, your employer right now, even like I said, even if it's just from McDonald's, that is a very important relationship that you're going to carry with you for a long time. If you need a reference or you need someone to write you a letter of recommendation, you should be able to ask your employer. You should have a good enough relationship with your employer that you can say, hey, do you mind if I have you down as a reference? Or with anything else, do you mind if you write a letter of recommendation for me, highlighting my work ethic and highlighting my good skills? So having a great relationship with your employer is super important. That's all for this week's video. Stay tuned for next week. Next week, I think I'm going to do something about graduation tips because I'm graduating high school next week. I actually just graduated from my trade school yesterday and for electrical, and I have my high school graduation this upcoming Wednesday, and then the following I have a banquet for another graduation. So I'll have done 3 graduation events, and I think I will be definitely well versed on the topic of graduation. So with that being said, make sure to stay tuned, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you all in next week's video. Bye everyone!